Okay, let's take a look at these kites. So for number one, it's telling us obviously that this ABCD is a kite. And then it's saying that we need to find AD, which just means find how long AD is. So AD is right there. And the other information they give us is for AB, which is right there. So I don't know if it's obvious to you, but these two sides are definitely congruent. That's how kites are made. So this is going to be a part equals part problem. So we're going to go ahead and set it up and solve. And so first we have 4x plus 22 equals 7x minus 5. Okay. So go ahead and put it in and solve, or solve it by hand, whichever you feel more comfortable doing. If I take 4 away from both sides, I get, 4x, I get 3x. If I add 5 to both sides, I get 27. Divide both sides by 3, I get 9. All right, so x equals 9. You are not done. Stop thinking you're done. Plug it back in. So we're going to plug it back in over here. That's going to be 4 times 9 plus 22. And that will equal 58. No, it's not degrees. This is not an angles problem. Then over here we have 7 times 9 minus 5, which also equals 58. And AD, which is the blue side, but it doesn't matter because they're both equal, is simply 58. All right, so go ahead and try number 2, just like number 1. All right, number 3. Okay, so let's see, ABCD is a kite. Find the measure of angle D. Okay, this is an angles problem. You see the little symbol right there? Yeah. All right, so anyway, angle D is right here. Just going to kind of highlight it. And then angle B is here. Okay, and again, these kites, all kites, the angles between the top, I guess you could say, and like the bottom, those are going to be congruent. So D and B are congruent. Now angle A and angle C, not congruent. No, no, no. All right. Okay, so this is also going to be a part equals part. Let's go ahead and set this thing up and solve it. Okay, so we got that going on. And again, you can use solve if you would like. All right, so if I subtract 5x from both sides, that's going to leave 5x. If I add 45 to both sides, it's going to be 75. If I divide both sides by 5, that's going to be 15. Okay, so we get x is 15. And then we're going to plug it back in. So that's 5 times 15 plus 30. So that should be, what, 105. And then for this one, we have 10 times 15 minus 45. So that's 150 minus 45, which is also 105. And these are both in degrees because this is an angles problem. Okay, and okay, it's just asking us for angle D. So that's 105 degrees. Okay, so number 4 is pretty much the same thing. So try it again, or try number 4 on your own. Pause the video. All right, number 5. So now we have DP, which is a side, not an angle, not a side, excuse me, a piece of the diagonal right here. And then we have PB, it's a segment, which is right here. So still, part equals part. You can tell both of these are congruent to each other, so that's definitely part equals part. So let's go ahead and set this thing up and solve it. Okay, solve it however you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 3x from both sides to get 7x. And I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides to get 28. Divide both sides by 7 to get 4. Again, you're not done. You still have to plug it back in. So we got to multiply 10 times 4. That's 40. Plus 8 is 48. And we're going to plug it in here. What's that? 3 times 4, which is 12. 12 plus 36 is also 48. Okay, so both of these segments are 48. And so let's see, dB. Oops, let's take a look here. All right, so dB is the whole thing, and that's what this problem is asking us to figure out. So if this side is 48 and this side is 48, and guess what? You gotta add them together, and that should be 96. Okay, so take this time to try number 6 on your own, just like number 5. All right, let's go ahead and move on to number 7. Okie dokie. So we have the measure of angle DAP. So let's see, DAP. Okay, so I outline it in the same order that the letters appear. So that's going to be this angle up here. So DAP is this angle right there. And then we have BAP. So start at BAP. Okay, so that's that angle. So I'm going to just shade it in a little bit better. There, okay? And those two angles are definitely congruent. So this is a part equals part problem. So you know what's up. Set it up and solve. Okay, so if I subtract 3x from both sides, it's going to be 2x. Subtract 12 from both sides, it's going to be 8. Divide both sides by 2, you get 4. So x equals 4. All right, plug it back in. As usual, don't forget this step. Okay, so 3 times 4 is 12. Let's see, 12 plus 20 is 32. And for here, we got 5 times 4, which is 20. 20 plus 12 is also 32, again. So both of these angles are 32 degrees. So that's 32 degrees. And that's 32 degrees. And then it says to find DAB, which is DAB. That's the whole thing. So you got to add them together. So if I add 32 and 32, that's just going to be 64. So DAB is 64 degrees. Okay, so let's take a look at number 8 real quick. So number 8 is similar to this one. It looks like it's using the bottom half of the kite though. Okay, so it's the same thing, but it's just using the bottom half of the kite, but the process should still be the same. All right, so try that on your own. And let's now move on to number 5. Okay, so we have another kite. Imagine that. DP, let's see where that is. Okay, so DP is right here, and PB is right here, and then and then AP, there's a third. Oh, it's green. Okay, so AP is right there. My bad, I forgot to highlight it on this side. Y'all know I gotta color code it. Oh, the colors are giving me Powerpuff Girls. Haha. All right, so let's see what's good. DP and PB are definitely equal, so those two are going to be part equals part. So let's just start there. And we'll see what else we need to do later. So I'm going to set that up and solve it. All right, so we get 2 equals x. Plug it back in, make sure we got it right. And also that might help us find the answer. So that's what, 10 plus 10 is 20. 16 plus 4, that's also 20. All right, cool beans. So let's see, that PB is 20. And DP is also 20. And then it says AP is 21. Let me go ahead and label that on the figure. All right, and then it says to find AB. So where is AB? AB is right here. Oh, looky there. Look at there, look at there. We got a right triangle, folks. When in doubt, look for a triangle. Okay, so let's see what we can do with that triangle. Well, since it's a right triangle and we're not talking about angles at all in this problem, that's going to be Pythagorean Theorem. So let me go ahead and zoom in. I guess I could draw it over here. I don't feel like it. Okay. So here's my right angle, which means this side is C. And I know there's like a whole lot of letters. I don't want to confuse y'all, but you know, for Pythagorean, we use lowercase a, lowercase b, and lowercase c. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up. We're looking for c. So that's going to be c equals the square root of a squared plus b squared. All right, so let me put that here. What's that going to be? 21 squared plus 20 squared. And we're going to put that in the calculator. Do not use and solve. Do not use, you know, let me just show y'all, because y'all just like throwing and solve around like indiscriminately. Don't do that. Okay, so we got the square root of 21 squared plus 20 squared, and that's 29. See how I didn't use and solve? I didn't put an equal sign or anything. All I put was the square root and what was under it. All right, should have talked. What was that, 29? Okay, just checking. Sorry about that. All right, cool. So C is 29. So that means AB is 29. All right, let's take a look at number 10. Let's find BC. Then it gives us DP. And P. Yeah, it's the exact same thing as number 9. It's just using the bottom half of the triangle. Bottom half of the kite, but it's the same process. So let's go on to number 11. You need to try number 10 right now. Pause the video, go back, do number 10. And when you're done, we'll do number 11. Okay, now we need to find the perimeter. Okay, so let's take a look. There's a lot going on here. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm noticing that we have two different variables. So we got the x variables up here. So I'm gonna use the same color for those two. And that's part equals part. So these two are the same. And then we got the y variables down here. And those are also equal. So they're congruent to each other. So we're gonna use part equals part twice. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and set up the first one. 4x plus 5, 9x minus 30, and solve it. Okay, so we get 7 for the first one. Let me plug it back in, because I'm paranoid, and I wanna make sure I'm doing this right before I continue. So it's gonna be 33. Then we got over here 9 times 7, 63. Minus 30 is also 33. All right, cool. So that one's good. They were both equal when I plugged it in. All right, let's try another one. The other one, 3y plus 25 equals 6y minus 8. Okay, solve it however you need to solve it. Okay, so we get 11 for y. Let's plug it back in to make sure. 33 plus 25, was that 58? 66 minus 8, that's gonna also be 58. All right, cool, so we got that one right as well. Nice. All right, for the perimeter, just add them all up. So for perimeter, add all the sides. And when they say the sides, they mean the outside, not the inside. Not that we had anything on the inside for this problem, but just in case you needed to know that. All right, so we got 33 plus 58 plus 58, and then that's going to be 182. All right, number 12 is just the same, so do the same thing for number 12. Go ahead and pause the video, do number 12, and then we'll continue. All right, number 13, the long diagonal of a kite has endpoints 2, 5, and 6, 8. What's the length of this diagonal? First of all, can I go ahead and do a little sketchy sketch? Okay, I don't need all that. All I need is first quadrant, it looks like. Okay, so then we got 2, 5. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we got 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's not a great sketch. I'm trying. So it says this is the length of the diagonal. Okay, so it just wants us to know the length of this line. I really didn't need to do a sketch, but I'm a visual person. All right, so to find the length of a line, guess what? We got to do distance formula. All right, so distance formula is the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. All right, let's go ahead and plug this in. So that's going to be, let's see, x2 be 6, x1 will be 2. Square that, and then for y we got 8 and 5. And we're going to square that. All right, you can just type that into your calculator. And when you type it in, make sure you type this part right here. Just that. Don't put no equal sign. Don't put no comma x. Don't put no n solve, nothing. Just the square root and everything underneath it. All right, I'm just going to do it over here. Let's see, 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 squared is 16. 8 minus 5 is 3. 3 squared is 9. I made that square root a lot too big. Okay, and I believe that's 25 when you add it up, so that's just going to be 5. Okay, so the length of this diagonal is 5. Alright. So if you look at number 14, it's the same thing. It's just asking you how long is the segment. It's worded fancy. That's all it's asking you for. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to number 15. Okay, now this one's different because it's talking about a point of intersection. So again, I'm going to go ahead and sketch it. Okay, so that's my x, that's my y. All right, and we have 6, 12, and 10, 8. Sorry, have brain fart. I don't really need to be this precise. I'm just being a little extra. Okay, and then 10, 8. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I just got to go up 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's about right here. Okay. Okay, so there it is. I don't need the little dots. I just put the dots there to help me count. Sorry. Okay, and it says, what's the point of intersection? Okay, so this is the short diagonal. So the thing about it is the long diagonal, which is not, they didn't tell us anything about the long diagonal, but it's going to be perpendicular, okay? So it's going to be perpendicular, and it's going to intersect in the middle. So the short diagonal is always cut in half. Not the long diagonal, but the short diagonal. So, like, let me give you a better sketch. If this were a kite, this is not a better sketch. If this were a kite, it would cut the short diagonal in middle, okay? So we're going to use midpoint formula to solve this guy. Okay, so midpoint, capital M, equals x1 plus x2 over 2, plus y1, I'm sorry, comma, y1 plus y2 over 2. Okay, and then just plug in the numbers. Real simple. So we got 6 plus 10, got that from here and here, those are my x's, divide by 2, and then we got 12 and 8 for the y's. Okay, and then just simplify each fraction. Now please, when you put this in a calculator, don't do it all at one time. Do the first fraction first, hit enter, then go back and do the second fraction second, and then hit enter. So don't try to do it all at once. Let's see, that's going to be 16 divided by 2, that's 8. And 12 plus 8 is 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10. Okay. So there you go. That is the point of intersection. Now, if, I were a student, I was doing this, and I would just want to kind of sort of make sure, I would count the 8 and 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then go up 10. And it is in the middle. Okay. This graph isn't perfect. If it were perfect, it'd be a lot easier to tell. But always try to make sure your midpoint is in the middle. Otherwise, you messed up. All right.